The Redeemer has risen.
Hey, what's up guys, Massive here, gonna do a live cast of a tournament. Well, it's not really a tournament, it's more like a league. And Bikerush and Technique have completed their round in Tiberian Wars. I won't spoil the result of that. I'll probably announce it in the end because I want this series to be good. Anyway, over on the left-hand side here, we can see Technique playing as the green-black hand. And scrolling over to the right, we can see Bikerush, who has decided to go for random in this series in Kane's Wrath. Hot debate, really, in the game right now. Is random fine? Should it be changed? It's a real discussion. Anyway, Descent opening from Bikerush. Is this an all-in? He was dealt Traveler 59, which is unusual. Yeah, this is definitely going to be an all-in here. I don't see that working though versus Technique unless he doesn't send any scouts, but he's got one scout here, which I think he can spot this. But wow, man, I mean, it could be over before it really starts because Technique hasn't really made enough scouts. Maybe Bikerush is just exploiting that mistake. Is this actually an all-in or not? No, it's not. Wow, so he's just going to make two groups of Disintegrators. I guess all he has to do is kill one or two Harvesters, and he has this. It's all going to be up to Technique, though, to see if he can see this coming. We're going to go to his Fog of War now. And we can see that he's completely oblivious to the fact that he could be getting rushed by Descents. He's going for a tier 2, which means he can sell that. And he's going to see these coming in advance. He has that part of the map scouted as well. He's going to sell that. Oh my god. Is he going to be fine here? He's going to lose that. Oh my god. Oh, that was close. Almost losing that Harvester. Almost saving that Harvester, sorry. Things heating up real quick though. Selling off that power plant there, good idea, because you do get the full squad if you're able to sell structures rather than let them be destroyed. That's going to put both players on even terms right now, though I'm going to go out on a whim here and say that Technique is going to be slightly ahead just because he is Blackhand and he weathered the storm. He has this Blackhand squad here, though the Descents, 4 of them, are still on the map. They're not as powerful as they once were in R12. They're a little bit weaker now. But so are Cabals, coincidentally, because if you draft Cabals, you only get 4 members in the squad, whereas in 1.2 Plus, earlier versions, you would get the full squad. And he's got those just roaming around here. Just going to poke in and out just to keep Technique scouted, because once he loses these scouts, he has no real way to see what Technique's doing in the game, unless he builds another portal or a seeker to scout him. But yeah, he needs to see stuff like this right now. Technique's going for the operations center. Surprised that he done that, honestly. Because, is this Harvester going to die? Wow, he's going to be forced to sell it off. That is definitely damaging for Bikerush here. And I think that may put Bikerush on a pretty good setting here. But maybe that worked to Technique's advantage, though, because Bikerush just popped down that portal. Probably originally planning to go for Cultist. But, yeah, I wonder if Technique's going to stick to his original plan and go for that. To Operations Center. He's placing it over there. Let's see if Bikerush has vision of this. He does. So yeah, I mean, he needs to expect cultists really, and he needs to send a buggy in. I mean, I usually do this versus Bikerush. In fact, in that tournament, that what do you call it, Decade Cup tournament, I played a best of 7 series versus Bikerush, and in the second game, I went for buggy first before going mass flame tank, because you know, if I didn't do that, I would get my flame tanks captured. So just buggy first, man. Even in Nod Mirrors, if you go buggy first, you know your opponent's camping at his base with a load of bikes. I mean, at least then you'd know, you'd have that intel so you don't rush in there blindly and lose all your bikes. But yeah, he's going to send a Cabal in first just to see if there is going to be anything coming. This won't work too great for Bike. I think Bike was expecting mass flame tank here, honestly. Technique is just going to casually eco up in this game, though. I mean, he's going to go. Bikerush is going to go for the cultist squad here, but look at his eco. He's foregoing his eco just for that, and he's only up against 1 Reckoner. And I don't think Technique's going to send it in unless he sent it somewhere else. Where's that Reckoner? Maybe he just went to capture the Spike here. No, he didn't. Is Spike still alive? Not sure what that Reckoner was filled up with aside from one Black Hand squad. Is it just a double Reckoner? It is. It's got a double Black Hand. Let's see what vision he's able to get here. You can see the tier 2. You can see the cultist squad. It just went in his vision, but I can assume he saw them a little earlier. He's going mass buggy now, so yeah, Technique's game awareness is actually really good. Oh my god, that is crippling. What the timing. Oh my god. Oh my god, he almost got that war factory. I'm surprised by that. That's going to give Bikerush a chance to get back in this game now. He's on tier 3. He's going Mecha Piece, but he's only on 1 refinery. I mean, Mecha Piece are good and all that. Is Technique going to just go for another MC3, or is he just going to continue Bike Buggy? Technique being the master of Bike Buggy, I expect him to close out this game. There's a few descents out on the map now. Technique just needs to spot this, and he will be spamming bikes from here on out. He knows now he's up against Mecha Piece, but he doesn't know that his opponent's on 1 refinery, so this might freak him out a little bit here. He might panic and you know, make mistakes. This is what Bikerush is hoping him to do. Bikerush is definitely on the back foot though, because he does have only 1 ref here. Though on the flip side, he will have this tip field lasting longer than Technique's, who has almost completely dried up his field because he spent the money on the 1 extra refinery and harvesters. So that 3 grand went towards building units and structures that he's not going to really need soon. Whereas Bike is going to have this tip for Mecha Peds mostly. It's going to come down to micro, and yeah, what do you know, Technique's micro really good. He's going to be able to stop that, and he's going to be able to go in for the harvester kill as well easily. And he needs to make sure he micros the buggies to kill those units. Oh, don't suicide them in though, Technique. I think he could definitely take out those cultists though with the buggies that he has. And oh, excellent force firing though by Bikerush. Bikerush is going to panic in this game. He's going to be losing this game because he's getting his portal and his war sphere camped as long as the Reckoner, which I completely forgot about. But yeah, nice work by Technique not to move that in with cultists out in the field. So its utility now though going to be extremely deadly because there is no more cultists left on the map. Is Technique going to evac that Reckoner? Not that it really matters. He's got this game wrapped up in the bag. The tech is still alive. Bikerush still has a chance here if Technique just decides to donate his units as he is doing now. I was about to say he had no anti-infantry, but look at again, he has those Black Hand squads. And that's GG. Bikerush almost getting back in this game by taking that aim severe techniques, but wow. It's amazing how Bikerush makes these things work. Technique had the scouts in the early game exactly where he needed them. He defended that rush really well. I think his second group with the Sins probably should have came in tandem with the first group. Maybe he would have been able to score the kill on 2 harvesters, because, you know, while he had those 4 Descents alive for a long time afterwards, they didn't do anything aside from scout, and then they just got taken out easily afterwards. So yeah, Bikerush, I think, was expecting Technique to go for mass flame tank, but not to be in the end. Technique just going to go, he went for that 1 Reckoner, and that's all he went for. A lot of mind games going on right now. Alright guys, Massively Fear, and this is going to be game number 2. Remember, these games are live, so I freaking have no idea what's going to happen. I actually do have an idea what's going to happen when I cast replays, because you know by the amount of replays there are and everything else. But yeah, this is live, this is completely unpredictable. And over here on the left hand side we have Bikerush, who has been dealt a Nod faction. Let's see what he's been dealt. He's been dealt Nod. Wow, that's a good pull from random. He's going to have Blaze Capacitor as well. Technique here on the right, going to stick with Black Hand. He's not going to have lasers, he's going to be Black Hand here though. But Technique, I'd say, is the better mirror player, though he really isn't going to be enjoying the fact that he's going to be up against Bikerush, who is going for a secret shrine here, maybe? I don't think this is going to work. He's up against Black Hand, though. Why would you do this? This is not going to work, I don't think. Technique made 2 barracks. He went double racks opening, so he should grab one of the spikes, though. But Bikerush, being one of the fastest players in the game, can he actually nail both the engineers, though, in time? We're about to see right now. Where's the Shadow Team? It's inbound right now, but can Technique pick up on this? Remember, Cabals do reveal stealth now. I'm not sure if they can do it within the structures, though. And he's definitely not going to get this spike here, so this is pretty big deal, actually. And that's a pretty big disaster, actually, for Bikerush, because he was able to grab that 1 spike. I'm not sure what was going through his head there, but yeah, Technique's going to be definitely enjoying the fact seeing those Shadow Teams, him being Nod. He can have a lightning response in the form of the buggy. So yeah, he's just going to sell his power plant here, I think. Oh my god, he saves it. He saves it. And that was a great hold there by Technique. And yeah, all Bikerush has to do now is just herd these around the place. Technique, what will be on the top of his mind right now is Bikerush going for an all-in to follow up this build. Let's see what Bikerush is doing. He's just going to casually eco, I think. Or maybe this is building too quickly to be a harvester. He's going to go eco. Okay, so just casual Eco behind this. Technique not really as far ahead as what I thought originally, despite him going for those shadow teams. Bikerush is actually on even terms. I don't know how that works out at all, but yeah. I guess he has to spend money on building units such as bikes and buggies. Bikerush going double War Factory. This is what you come to expect of him. Now, Technique, look, man, I called this ages ago. I mean, Technique, man, you know that he's going to be going all in if this doesn't work. You cannot expect this to not be an all in. So maybe he susses it out, though. He's going for bikes now, triple harvester. Has he got a scout in the base? No, that's just militant squad taking Tib exposure. Here's a shadow team which will get taken out, but I don't think this is going to bluff Technique at all, who is going for units now. He's going for units from that War Factory. What's else coming from his War Factory? MCV, it's going to be another War Factory. He definitely sees it now, though, and he should be able to hold this, I think. He needs to get down that double War Factory. Is this a double War Factory or is this a power plant? It was building way too slowly to be a power plant. And the micro will be on point here for Technique, or it has to be. Bikerush, though, he is in the midst of all these harvesters and everything, so definitely a big advantage to Technique, considering how he has double War Factory on the front line. This is going to be pretty much it. The first wave wasn't able to achieve a crippling blow on Technique, and I think Technique's going to take this 2-0 in a surprising quick 2 games. I guess the pressure just building up for Bikerush, and that's GG. So Technique, man, this being a best of 5, he only has one more game to win. And wow, this is going to be tight now, because Bikerush, I'll mention it here, he is up 3 games in Tiberium Wars. And if Technique levels it in Kane's Wrath by 3 games, then I'm not sure what happens there on out. Is it going to be, I guess that's that. I mean, ideally that's what Technique would be after in this next game, to try and win and get himself even with Bikerush. Alright guys, Master Leaf here, coming back to do game number 3, and last game it just desynced out of nowhere. It was kind of tight though. Technique's harvester stopped at the end, and we kind of think that that was the cause for the desync. Anyway, that doesn't change anything. It's 1-1, it's actually 2-0 for Technique right now, but in the grand scheme of things, it's actually 3-2 for Bikerush. So Technique has to win this game to be even with Bikerush in this league. And I forgot the guy who is doing this league. In fact, I haven't been following it too much. I know that Greenzer and a few others have been playing it recently. And you get to choose when to play your games, which is kind of the good thing about it. You also play on R13, which is kind of good as well, because game replays 6 months later have still not accepted R13 as the go-to patch for tournaments. So yeah, not many people want to really sign up to them, and it's a little unfortunate, because I do miss playing in tournaments. Something I miss about this game, as well as playing Unleashed, because yeah, it was always fun playing him. But looks like back to this game here for scouting, we have Bikerush, who is going to go for Cabals. Usually it's best to just go buggies in Mirror, because I mean, Cabals aren't going to do too much for harassment. I mean, if you go a buggy, you can rank up that buggy, or you would have in the past, because buggies had an XP bug where, well, not really buggies, but Cabals. If you killed a Cabal back in the day, you would get the same experience as if you killed a Predator tank. So yeah, you only need to kill like 2 Cabal squads and your buggy would rank up. Back in the day, you would get heroic buggies in mirrors just because of that, and it would have been an insane meat shield for the all-ins. But Technique here, he's got bikes, and Bikerush has meanwhile decided to eco behind this. He's going to go for bikes now though, so very traditional mind game here. I'm not sure why Technique didn't go for a buggy first, just to see if that was the case. But Bikerush here, just going to play it cool. He can see that there's bikes out in the field now, and a volley has been wasted by Technique, and one bike goes down for Technique. Yeah, but one more does get traded though, and I think Bikerush is coming out a little bit ahead in this game, though Technique going to get out a 4th harvester here. So yeah, pretty decent actually. So I think this is going to go pretty well for Bike. There is a few bikes out in the field for Bikerush, but there's only 2 of them, so Technique doesn't really have to rush to get anything out. Is he going to go 2 factories? Of course he is, because he's Technique. He's going to do the exact same thing as last game. because it's his tried and true strategy. And there is a Cabal squad here. Can Technique stop this? There's 2 bikes in the back of the base, though. I think Bikerush has to get out of there. You can see the engineer, and I don't know, man. I think Technique may have to go for a scout just to see what Bikerush is going to do to respond to this. Bikerush is going to do the exact same thing as last game, which was desync, actually. He went infantry in the last game. Spoiler. In fact, no, not really, because I said it at the start. And he's going to go infantry here. Now, the good thing about this is they're very good versus bikes, but when it comes to mass Scorpion tanks, if you don't have Scorps of your own mixed in with those inf, they're just going to get crushed by the Scorps. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Technique dukes Bikerush out into thinking it's an all-in, or if he's going to go for Scorpion tanks. He's going bikes now. Needs to watch his Harvester, though, because it is pretty much undefended. Okay, Technique smells out the infantry now. And what's he going to do to respond to this? The bike is here. It's taking... The Harvester is taking damage, but a player as good as Technique won't let that die. He's not a noob. He's not going to allow that. Buggy's being produced now for Technique. He's going to see the infantry now, and the question now is, what is Technique going to do to counter this? He's Bikerush sending infantry across the map right now. He's not bothering to sell his MCV. I mean, he could still send the MCV to Technique, which is what I'd expect him to do, but no, instead he's going to go for Eco. Technique really can't afford to just make buggies at this point, really. I don't think that's an option for him. He needs to scout this infantry, otherwise he's in all kinds of trouble. I think he's going to get a little bit sandwiched here. So this is not looking too good for Technique. Harvester going to get sniped as well. So I guess that little pocket of infantry definitely paying off for Technique, and this all-in really not working too well for Technique right now. Bikerush is getting his infantry sniped though, but Technique's micro not really on point at all. He should have kept those bikes away from the buggies. Can't dismiss Tech out of this game. Is he going for an MCV? It'd be nice to see an MCV out of him, because I don't think this will work, what he's doing right now, forever. Bikerush did manage to snipe the Harvester, which is a plus for him. One of the spikes is not destroyed yet, despite all the infantry. And Technique's just going to keep spamming units here. I don't think Bikerush really has enough to really hold what Technique has at the moment. I mean, I guess maybe he does. Yeah, there is a fair amount of infantry out in the field now, but he's throwing away units, which is what Technique relies on most of the time. When I lost to him in tournaments, he used to do this a lot. Refinery coming down now for Technique, Bikerush, sorry. So he just needs to hold his ground here, and I think he'll be fine. He's got bikes out in the field as well. So what's Technique going to do right now? He needs to put a push on to Bikerush. He cannot let Bikerush eco up in this game. But Bikerush sending bikes across the map. I don't think Technique's going to see this coming from a mile away. And here comes the buggies. They're not coming at the same time, and he's not going to see the bikes here. Not that it matters, because all the flame weaponry is in range. And the bike's coming into the base of Technique. I don't think Technique has enough to hold this back. I think that Bikerush has this. And Technique, maybe it was a bit too optimistic, expecting him to win 3 games in a row, though. It's a best of 5 series, so even though it is 2-1 in this series, it's not over yet for Technique. He still has games to play. He can't just say, oh, I'm not going to play anymore. As far as I know, he does get points for winning games, like in a football league. So he definitely has to play the next games as well. And I am calling this a bit early, but look at the infantry that Bikerush has. I mean, he's not going to lose this game anymore. He herded off Technique's assault. Technique, I think he persisted with this strategy too long. I think he should have transitioned to an MCV a lot sooner. Mistake in my opinion. Also, he didn't grab that Tiberium spike. I'm not sure where he was sending his engineer originally, but he should have sent it towards his opponent's spike, which was like here. And Bikerush just has enough infantry now to comfortably eco far ahead into this game. Technique gonna try and make an MCV or not. He's going for a Harvester. I guess he knows that it's all over now. It's only a matter of time before he calls the GG, but maybe he wants to just wear Bikerush down a little bit more for the next game. Maybe he can put on a little show for us, but it's just black hand mirrors, which is not really what we like to see all the time. Well, I'm personally not too bothered about it, but I know that you guys don't like seeing the same thing all the time. But I do enjoy the positioning and the unit transitions in Black Hand Mirrors. I do think it's a skill, a matchup with a high skill ceiling. And technique here, he's on one harvester only, getting a second one out now, but this infantry alone I think is just going to wrap it up for Bike. But as I mentioned before, he's just going to do this to prolong the game deliberately. So he has Bikerush, and maybe he's thinking of a strategy in the next game, but yeah, I guess he's just going to throw in the towel right now, and that is going to put Bikerush behind 2-1 in this series. Overall, he wins the league versus Technique, but this series in Kane's Wrath not over just yet. It is a best of 5, so yeah, stay tuned because there's more games to come. Alright guys, Bikerush a little bit confused as always with the format. I wouldn't know it because, again, I have not been following it. But Technique gonna be the loser of this game, of the last game, sorry, so he gets the map pick. And it's gonna be Tournament Odyssey, picking a large open map, ideal for Bike Buggy. Just ask no one other than Green Zero for your answer. Anyway, he's going to be up here playing as the Green Black Hand and scrolling to the left corner here. We can see Bikerush playing as the Black Hand once again, so no surprises. I mean, I could just recycle the introductions every single game because these guys are not in the mood to change it up at all. Bikerush did so, however, in the decision game, but not working out for him because he went Shadow Teams versus Black Hand because, yeah, that doesn't make any sense at all, does it? Anyway, 2 spikes per player on this map. Relatively easy to grab, unlike Rift. Though, if you are playing a Black Hand Mirror on Tournament Rift, you know that your opponent's Black Hand. You can take 2 spikes there. Because your opponent's scouts and your scouts are the same speed, so they won't reach the far bunker at a later or earlier point. And force fire in the ground there for a moment. Bikerush going to avoid his Cabals taking excessive damage. Not that it's going to matter now because the buggy is here, but I don't think Technique really cares because he wants to scout. Or what? He's going for 2 buggies right now. He's letting in a Cabal though, so if he's hoping to do any sort of mind game here, then I don't think that'll work for him at all. I don't think that would have worked, honestly. Bikerush is not going to be fooled by this. There is a flame tank though. He sees the flame tank, I think. He sees the upgraded power plant anyway, so he's going to be making a Scorpion tank now. A bike is definitely not the way to go because of just how much damage those flame tanks do. I mean, one mistake and you are finished. Anyway, it's an all-in Technique. He probably can stop this. The flame tank though, if it gets in range of the barracks, it will be preventing infantry coming out, and needs to try and stop this though before it is too late. This flame tank, I think Technique is not responding quick enough. He needs to go Scorpion tanks. He's not going Scorpion tanks. And he's coming in now with a flame tank, but yeah, he's going to be scared off. That could have been Technique's, Bikerush's chance to kill off that barracks and the few infantry that was there. But yeah, but Technique could just throw that in other barracks and rinse and repeat. What is Bikerush doing? Is he transitioning now to more harvesters? Again, I know this out of Bikerush. He does this all the time. He always transitions a little bit later, but Technique, he's way better than me in these matchups. He surely will not be losing this game. Where's the flame tank? Flame tank making its way over to the other side, and I think that Technique is not doing enough here. I mean, the flame tank is coming in for the attack on the refinery. Or are you gonna save this refinery tank? I would make a hand of nod here. Oh fuck's sake! Those militant squads. They don't have any priorities. No, what are you doing that for? I think he could have saved that as well. But that's not going to matter because, look, I mean, Bikerush, he doesn't have an MCV, so it doesn't matter so much. Technique, however, does have one, and that Black Run squad wasn't where it needed to be, which was over here to burn down the Tiberium spikes. So Technique going to enjoy 2 spikes in this game for a longer period of time. Infantry out in the field here, so if Bikerush continues to go for Bike Buggy, it's not going to work in this game. Technique now just needs to, going for the MCV cell. He's moving out with these infantry now. And was that the right move, to be honest? I reckon he could have went 2 refineries and recovered up in this game, because look how much infantry he had. He could have just parked that at his base a little longer, gone for 2 war factories on that single field. I mean, 2 refineries. But yeah, he's going to send his infantry over across the map, which probably likely will meet harsh resistance, and yeah, if he goes in with these infantry and bike at the same time, then he has a good chance of breaking bikes here. But really, bike has the war factory advantage. He has the ability to reinforce a lot quicker than Technique does. But yeah, Technique's on 2 war factories, Bikerush is on 2 war factories. The micro a little bit sloppy here for Bikerush. Every unit that goes down in these programs definitely does make a difference, and the Scorpion tanks are not where they need to be, and that is trying to crush the infantry. The buggy's getting torn to shreds in that infantry. Bike is all over the place right now, and I can see that Technique has this here. He has overwhelming sums of units, and one thing that you can do in these engagements is put your bikes in pairs so they don't overkill the enemy bikes. That's going to be GG, so that's going to be it, I think. I think that's 3-1 in favor to Technique in this series. So, not the most exhilarating few games, but a series nonetheless. And I maybe should have played in this series as well, because it seemed quite fun because it was on R13. But yeah, I don't have any experience or gameplay in Tiberium Wars, so I would get utterly annihilated in Tiberium Wars. And I just think, I mean, Technique only had to win 1 game in Tiberium Wars versus Bike to have a shot at winning in this series, but not to be, man. You got close, though. It was 2-1, and now it's 3-1. So I suppose you'd be quite happy about this, though. Winning in Kane's Wrath quite compellingly, so, if that's even a word. And Bikerush is going to take this series, so unless Technique and Bike decide to play more games and I add these on, I'm just going to call this a video. In fact, maybe I might cast games from now on that, like random games during the night, and call it a different series, because you guys are probably getting bored by now watching me play, just watching me play games. And I'm getting worse now, as you saw by that last series that I had versus Futurama. Oh my god, that was pretty bad. But yeah, GG, well played to Bike. Well, I guess you could say Bike overall won, but Technique won in Kane's Wrath, so congrats to both. Anyway, guys, this will be it. Looks like these guys are going to call it quits, and that is GG. It's a shame I didn't get to catch the games in Tiberium Wars, but yeah, I caught them in Kane's Wrath. I can give better analysis in Kane's Wrath anyways. And yeah, this is Master Leaf. Stay tuned for more videos and FPVs. I also have a strategies guide series coming up as well, when I get the time to do so. At the moment, I'm quite busy in real life, so bear with me. Anyways, this is Master Leaf. Peace out.